A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video and making these adventures possible, but more on that later. Today, I am on a mission to build an outdoor shower that won't freeze in the dead of winter, does not require any electricity, and should run year-round with unlimited water. It's a big goal, but I think it's possible. We'll see. But first, a little backstory on our current water situation. So this is our outhouse, and it's honestly one of my favorite buildings I've built so far on our land. We have a bathtub on the side with hot water from a propane tank and a really beautiful shower. And you can just stand out here, look at the sunrise or the sunset. It's really, really beautiful. We got this little mirror. We got an old reclaimed window. We have a composting toilet. And from May through October, this thing works amazing. And for the rest of the year, it's pretty much unusable. So the water flows through this pipe into the propane tank and then out the back to the shower and to the bathtub. And all of that water comes from under the wall tent. So this right here is the only water tank we have on the property so far. I think it's like 250 gallons, I can't really remember. But basically we just fill it from the well. So over here we have our well. This is actually a well that came with the property, and I was able to fix the wiring on it and get it to work again. And we had a well expert come take a look at it, and he said that it's probably 20 to 30 years old and 600 to 700 feet down to the groundwater in the valley. The only real reason I don't like this well is because it's not in a location that's like at all helpful for any of the stuff I've built or any of the stuff I want to build in the future. And there's so much iron content in the well water that the filter system I would need to build to adequately filter this water would be pretty expensive and just annoying to maintain. So I'm hoping not to have to use this well, but it is really nice to have to feed the tank under the wall tent. And it served us pretty well, honestly. Pretty cool to just have found a well here. Oh, also, to get this system not to freeze in the winter, we would have to insulate this top part and trench the lines all the way through the forest to the shipping containers and to the wall tent. But there's really no point in doing that because none of those structures are heated full time. I mean, the wall tent and the outhouse are fully unheated, fully uninsulated. So the second that pipe comes out of the ground into one of those buildings, it would freeze. And the shipping containers, we just don't have enough electricity to heat them full time. So they're designed to freeze with just portable water supply. So yeah, this system doesn't really work for us. But as of a couple months ago, we have a supply of unfreezable water in the form of a spring that I developed with the help of our friend Noah. So we've arrived at the natural spring we developed on the side of this hill. I think this is honestly one of my favorite things I've ever built. It's just a really, really cool feeling to find water flowing from under a rock, get a couple bags of mortar, some shovels, a pickaxe, dig for 2 or 3 days, and end up with this beautiful little structure which collects the water that's flowing and puts it into the large white pipe. It runs down through that black pipe all the way to the spring box down the hill, and then from there it runs like 1,500 yards down the mountain to the spot I want to put the shower and also the area where I fill our water jugs. So the spring is there. This is the spring box. This is the overflow. And then this is the pipe that runs all the way down the mountain to where we want to put the shower. All right, so the first step is to uninstall the shower hardware I put in between the bedroom and kitchen shipping containers. we've decided we want to use that area of the deck for something else, and Dana doesn't really like the shower. It's not that easy to use. There's no hot water, and yeah, we just don't really need it. I'd rather reuse that stuff for the spring shower, and then if we love the way the spring shower works, I may upgrade parts of that setup. I guess someone forgot to drain the water from this. It is crunchy. But the cool thing about this hose is it doesn't break when the water in it freezes, which is very convenient. All right, now that that's done, I want to build a little platform to stand on when you're taking a shower so your feet don't get all muddy. I think I'm gonna build it out of some locust lumber that I have left over from the garden build, just because I wanna build this thing for free. And I also really wanna test out how well locust actually withstands being wet all of the time, because supposedly it's a very rot resistant wood. And I like it because it's quite a bit more affordable than teak or some of like the Brazilian hardwoods. Plus you can get it locally. But being able to watch how it weathers in constant wet conditions will be really nice to know for future building projects, because I'd really like to build quite a few more things with locust. So yeah, I'm going to build a little platform out of the leftover garden material. So this is kind of embarrassing, but I guess the pipe froze last night. I had the hose pointed up, and that was like the first time I did that. And I think because it was pointed up, there wasn't enough flow coming through, and it was cooling too quickly when it hit the air. It's literally been out in the cold in way colder temperatures, but I had a new orientation because I was getting this project set up, and I think that's what did it. There's still water flowing through the pipe, luckily, so all of the ice chunks are slowly getting filtered out of there. They're like cored with like a hollow core where the water was continuing to flow through. So I think, yeah, lesson learned. The pipe needs to be pointed down so that it flows through there faster, because once that water hits the air, I think it was like 4 or 5 degrees Fahrenheit last night, I guess it cools too quickly and it got clogged at the very front. So yeah, hopefully this problem fixes itself. You learn new things every day, you know? Look at this. This is the scene of the crime. So the pipe was pointed up right here, and at some point last night it must have frozen. Not fully solid, there was still a little bit of water coming through it, but enough to really slow the flow. All right, so my plan is to clear the brush from this area, get rid of some of these smaller trees, move this platform under this nice big trunk, and then put a shower off the tree so that you can stand on this platform and take a shower here. I feel like it's a really nice spot. Freya, what do you think? So my original plan had been to put a shower head on this, but I'm wondering if that's gonna cause it to freeze when it's really, really cold. Right now there's actually not that much, like it doesn't look like that much water is flowing through there, but it's pretty high pressure because it's like a 400-foot drop in elevation. So that doesn't feel like it's gonna freeze. Maybe we'll put the shower head on there, and then if it freezes, I'll just take it off. The pipe froze once and it didn't seem to do any damage. I think the plastic has enough flex to it. Do we think that's gonna freeze or not? Oh, all right, we are done for now. Doesn't look like much, but it was a lot of work to get that all set up, and I got soaking wet in the process. I'm gonna pack everything up, potentially go for a run to build up some heat, and then I will try out the shower. It's like 17 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It looks significantly warmer than it is, so it's gonna be a very, very cold shower. And then tomorrow morning I'll come back and make sure that it hasn't frozen. And if it freezes, I'll just remove the shower head part, and I think the black pipe won't freeze in this orientation. So, job done. Yeah. Oh, you wanna run together? Yeah. Look. Do you see that? Look, Max. This is the water. Uh-huh. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, wow. That is so cold. Oh, 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 oh. Like not quite enough flow. Need like more water pressure.
We got big stuff on. You see? That's actually kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's warmer than you would think because it comes from underground. So it's not like river temperature.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like Libra.
No, because it can't freeze. So.
What do you want to do? Yeah?
Oh, whoa. It's cold, but it's not as cold as you would think. Oh, thanks, Max. Yeah, thank you. So on the very first night, the shower froze solid. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but I removed the shower head and I'm hoping that fixes the problem. If not, then I think I'm going to need to develop an additional spring or two to increase the flow rate, or just experiment with different orientations of the pipe, because it's never been a problem before, but I think having the elevated pipe at the very end of the line seems to be causing it to freeze. So yeah, it's going to be a work in progress, but that's it for now. A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. If you want to make your life way easier when it comes to building a website, I would highly recommend giving Squarespace a go. They've got a range of beautiful templates, and it's just nice to know that your website will run well on phones, tablets, computers. You don't have to worry about any of that back-end coding. They take care of that, and you get to focus on the creative part of building a website. We've been running our website with Squarespace for years now, and it's just such a nice feeling to know that the system is on autopilot, it's taking care of itself, and I don't have to do anything to make sure this thing runs well. If you want to give it a go, head to squarespace.com/wildweroam for a free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks so much for watching this week's video, and fingers crossed we can figure out how to unfreeze this shower.